Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington. And we are back with part 3, episode number 3, Obi Wan Kenobi. This episode got an 8.0 in terms of a rating. What do you think about that?
There was a lot of good in there and some bad. Yeah. There's a lot of good. I like the world building. I like the, what they were doing. Even the dialogue was pretty good. And then I got angered at the end. I was like, oh, what do you guys, come on, stop it. But we'll get to that.
Okay. I was about to ask you what made you like angry. But, I thought, I don't know. I mean, I said this last week. I said, dude, it would not surprise me if they spent 2 or 3 episodes trying to get off the planet with Leia.
Yeah, and you're right.
Like that
you're totally right.
It looks like that may happen. You also said something too. You said it would not surprise you if Reva became the Grand Inquisitor. Looks like that may happen.
Yeah, I think Reva's gonna have a redemption arc and she's gonna turn good at the end.
Really?
But I don't think she's gonna make it. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna make it. I think she's gonna turn good and try and save somebody, and then Vader's gonna cut her in half, and that's gonna be the end of the show. That's what I bank it right now. I think that's how the show's gonna end.
You know what's weird is I was looking at IMDb, and they said that the Grand Inquisitor, which is played by Rupert Friend, if you remember him, he played in Homeland. He is in 5 as the Grand Inquisitor. He is in 5 episodes this season. Remember, he was killed last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that just your name is in the credits and you're not actually on the show? Because he's in another TV show right now. The Grand Inquisitor is still in another TV show, and he's apparently alive still. So I don't understand what's going on there.
What does that is kind of interesting. What does that mean? Does that mean that he is actually, although he got stabbed by Reva, maybe he's not completely dead. He comes back. I am alive. Yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like,
they're talking like he's dead though. So I don't know. I have no idea.
He's in 5 episodes. So he was in 2. He's not in this one. So we have like what? I don't know, man. It's just like kind of weird.
He's gonna come back for 3 more. It's 3 more shows, right?
It's 3 more shows, dude.
Excuse me, I'm getting over colds here. Sorry.
3 more episodes.
3 more episodes. Yeah. So we'll see what happens next week. Because if he's still alive, he's gonna be like, "Hey, she's the one that stabbed me."
And there's no way she's gonna become the Grand Inquisitor if he's alive.
Yeah, like the way because she explained to everybody, Obi-Wan got him, that trickster got him, and he just got away. So I just got there late, and I couldn't help him. So she's playing it off like Obi-Wan killed him. So if he's still alive, that's not gonna fly.
Right. Where's the forensics to find out like how he died?
I don't know.
Like, cameras, this wasn't right.
Bots. There's got to be somebody filming something somewhere.
Come on, it's just like. It's a lot of there are a lot of cliffs on this show, like just these donut holes, just like again. I mean, you got 6 episodes. What can you do, right?
It should be tighter than this. I think that like this episode, episode 3 or part 3, there was a lot of walking around, talking, and sitting and driving. Like,
right.
I think the show was like 40 minutes long. That's 25 minutes of the show is just sitting in a car talking, like at least 25 minutes. It was a good chunk of it. And the other part was Reva walking to get into the Inquisitor's office or whatever that is. She walked really far. At the beginning of the show, she walked really, really far.
I'm like, dude, she got her steps in. She got like 10,000 steps
right.
in, dude. It's just
look at her GoPro. Like,
like the Apple Watch the rings like closed up. She got an alert like, you finished your steps, 10,000 steps. Like,
yes.
I thought it was like, when she came off the ship, first of all, I thought it was like Vader's ship, because Vader does those like long walks, before he like chokes someone out.
If the Empire needs to investigate, they need to invest in some golf carts or like some hover carts or something. I mean, just to get you in there, in and out, man. You're wasting time. She walked like a mile to get into the
Get like the old Taliban pickup trucks or something.
Right?
Just like please, can we like have some car service here just to get to like, HQ? I don't know what's going on here.
You know what though? The Empire cares about your health. They actually care. They want to get the steps in. They got bicycles everywhere. Good for them.
Yeah, it's crazy. You want to give a quick overview, then we can get into it?
So basically this show is what happens after part 2, logically. Obi-Wan and Leia are stranded in some offbeat planet that was a mining planet. And they were expecting someone to meet them there, but she got delayed, spoiler. So they're just walking randomly down some hills, and they come across this guy in a pickup truck. There's a pickup truck. And
his name was Frick, right?
And Obi-Wan's like, hey, don't talk to anybody. And instantly Leia's like, hey, like waving him down and just telling her life story. Like, dude, man, he said don't talk to nobody. So they pick her up. They pick them up, and he takes them, and he asks questions. Instantly, he's like, that's a weird story. Like, you can tell instantly, he's like, I don't trust these people. Right? And so he takes them up until he's going to take them a ride. And some stormtroopers, he picks them up too. And they got questions. And Obi-Wan and Leia can't get their story straight. So hilarity or drama ensues. I couldn't tell because it was kind of dumb. They should have said nothing and just kept it moving, but whatever. And they get to the most hilarious checkpoint of all time. Now, okay. I get, like, for vehicles, it stops vehicles, but everyone else could just walk around. Right. Like, that seems silly. Like, it's on the side of a hill. Just walk around. I understand that because he was like, panicking, we can't get through. Because I thought he was going to get the car, but he just walked through anyway. All right, so Obi-Wan, he handled 5 stormtroopers, no problem, but folded with 3 stormtroopers. Like, once he got through the gate, I was like, all right. He met a lady who was the person who was supposed to be the contact. He met her there. I think
her name is Tala. Mm-hmm.
Tala, yeah. My subtitles wasn't working. I couldn't get it working on my TV, so I was like, all right, whatever. So he meets her. She takes him into this town, and they're hiding out, and they go into this little shed, and there's a robot there, and they go into this little hatch and a secret portal, I guess, where they take all the other Jedi or people force sensitive to get away. And something interesting happened. While they walk into this room, it went from day to nighttime in like 5 minutes.
5 minutes, dude.
5 minutes. I was like, what the?
Maybe even 4 minutes,
Yeah, it was real short. And so on the other side of the galaxy, Reva is in the Grand Inquisitor's room, and they're arguing. And they've been telling Vader updates, whatever, and they tell them that we found Obi-Wan. And so Vader is getting off the big chair, and he's coming down to the planet. So there's that. Obi-Wan and Vader have this great fight or great runaway.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Was it budget reasons, or they could just do the choreograph?
I'm shook.
I rewatched Revenge of the Sith like a couple days ago before I watched this show, and this is one of the greatest fights in the history of fights. The fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah.
And so I was like, remember I talked about before, I was like, there has to be a great fight. One with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader and Obi-Wan and Reva. This has to happen. And when we got the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight, and I was sorely disappointed. That was we're gonna save that till later, but yeah. And last but not least, walking through the tunnel, Leia got captured by Reva. The end of the show. Again. All right. What'd you think of the show? What'd you think?
I kind of thought that, for 2 or 3 episodes, it would all be about them trying to get off this planet.
Yeah. You called it. You did call it.
And I was just like, that would be boring to me, because it's just like whatever they have in between there, like for instance, Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader. But I mean, Obi-Wan, I mean, Kenobi is just feeble right now. You know, he can't move. I mean, he's not sharp.
He is done for. What
You
the
know, even Vader has like he seems a little off as well. I mean, I remember when he put on his whole uniform and he was walking, I was like, oh, you know what? That's not the Vader we know from like the other six, movies. I mean, his walking gait is different. He's not as tall, you know.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm just like, just
continuity errors.
Right. If you watch Star Wars, all the movies and everything else, you're sort of in this tunnel, so you're in a vacuum, right?
That's
so
where I'm at.
Right. So I'm there too. So I'm like, oh, he's not as tall and he's not as big either. And I was just like, okay. And then Kenobi is all feeble.
We had to talk about Obi-Wan. All right.
Oh my goodness.
And we talked about before, but like, dude, your whole entire job was to protect Luke. That's your job. You're not doing that now. You're off on another planet on adventures. Like, you're not supposed to be on adventures. You're supposed to be on the planet protecting Luke. That's the first thing. The second thing is you're supposed to be training. What in the hell? You're like, it's like a samurai that's like, yo, you're doing your thing, and he decides, you know what? I'm gonna bury my sword. I'm not gonna practice. I'm not gonna meditate. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna eat fried chicken all day, and then I gotta fight some whatever. Like, come on, man. Like, your job, your one job was to protect this guy.
Let me ask you this here. But you said fried chicken. How is it? How is it seasoned? How is it seasoned? Is it like, I mean, is it? I need to know how this chicken is seasoned.
Right? Like,
and I mean, what sort of coating did they use? Did they use flour or cornmeal or something like that? I mean, those are important questions when it comes to like space fried chicken.
They got the space herbs and spices on this thing. I don't know what they did. But you know what? They respected in half the galaxy, right? So,
let me ask you this here. That's a very good point. Let's say, so your entire job, your purpose right now is
only reason for living is to protect this kid.
Right. So you mean to tell me that's what the Jedi said? You said you would do it as well, but then you went like just totally somewhere else for 10 years. I mean, what have you been doing? I know you live in the same town, but your skills aren't sharp enough to really protect him.
Yeah, he's like looking at him through binoculars and like, oh, okay, he's all right.
That's it.
And then he's going back to working on the mining the tuna or whatever the hell he's been doing. Like, dude, I don't like that. That kind of annoys me because like, it seems like a lot of these shows, they just tear down like the hero or whatever, and they don't make it like a good reason. Like, Obi-Wan is not broken in New Hope, episode 4 of Star Wars. He's not broken down like that.
No.
So I would get like he would have PTSD or whatever after what happened after Revenge of the Sith. Like, I could totally understand that. But his PTSD wouldn't ruin his ability to use the Force or fight a lightsaber or whatever. And why is he not using his lightsaber? He's bringing a gun everywhere. Like, you don't even need the lightsaber. Use the Force. You can disarm the guards. You could do the Jedi mind trick and tell them, hey, go around. We're not bothering anybody. You could do all that stuff. He's using the saber. He's like using his gun all the time. Like, dude, I don't understand him. There's simpler ways to do what he's doing, and he's not doing them.
Exactly. And the other thing is this, right? All Padawans eventually will lose their master, and some masters lose their Padawans, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just how it is.
Him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He lost Quan Jin or whatever his name is in the first movie. Like 5 minutes in the movie, he lost him.
Exactly. So. And it's just like, I mean, this is what we signed up for. This happens, right? So I don't get him like just being all just weird about this and just for this to be on this dome for 10 years. Here's the other thing too, right?
You should be training so this never happens again.
Dude,
That's
exactly.
what you should be doing.
10 years, you should be like the dopest, like, Jedi
right?
on the planet
doing
Earth.
Push-ups and doing backflips in the middle of the desert. Like, that's what you should be doing.
Have the Rocky music on in the background and whatnot. Come on. You know what? I was thinking about this, like when we did the review, and I was just like, you know what? I can't. You can't. Can you actually? Let me ask you this here. Do you think that we can have Star Wars without Jedi?
No.
So
That's the
why
whole
are
point.
they're like, you know what? The Jedi are like mostly gone. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
no. Okay. Someone in that room is not being super creative, because the show I would have thought of
Yeah.
is a show about where the Jedi, because they are so not that many Jedi, right? You would come with a show where the Jedi are like just some super, like on some different level Jedi, you know,
Yeah. Well, because
super skills the whole nine.
I thought that they would do the show around them hunting them the whole show. Like that would be the thing. But like it's kind of, I maybe it's budget, maybe it's the pandemic, and they're like, we can only do 5 stormtroopers at a time, and that's it. Because everyone's pretty much spaced apart when you see all the scenes.
Yeah.
So I think in their pandemic rules, that's what they're doing. So they're kind of limited to what they can and can't do. But I thought that it would be a more personal tale about from Obi-Wan's perspective. But like the show's more about Reva, it's more about Leia, it's more about Darth Vader, it's more about the guy in the truck picking up everybody. Like it's everything but Obi-Wan. And I gotta be honest, man, this show ruined Obi-Wan for me. It wrecked it. Because you see Obi-Wan as this G in all of the movies. He's always been gangster. Every movie he's been gangster. From the Phantom Menace all the way up to A New Hope. Obi-Wan has been cool, collective, calm, knows what he's doing. He's on point. He knows a lot about the Force. He's doing his thing. And then this show happens, and Obi-Wan just ran away. I'm like, what is this?
Run.
And then he's asking people, like, why are you helping people? Why are you doing good? Like, that's your job, dude.
Yes.
You're a Jedi. That's your job.
You know
You're
what?
supposed to be doing good in the world.
You know who else was ruined?
Yeah.
A Disney character. Boba Fett was ruined. They made him feeble.
Another thing.
You know?
They made him feeble and useless.
I saw trailers of you got to really dig for them, but I saw trailers of Ahsoka Tano, right? That show that's coming out, and I'm just like, when they said they were coming out with that show, I was just like, they are not going to get this right, because she's like super duper swift in like the Clone Wars, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they have Rosario Dawson playing this role, and I'm just like, no, they're not going to be able to do the special effects, none of that sort of stuff, right?
They can do none of that. This is going to be a lot of walking and talking. Just walking and talking.
And speaking of Reva, really quickly, and I sent you that link last week about how, just the Twitterverse and, social media is just like,
they do not like her.
Going
like,
crazy because, this is a POC. They had issues with, POCs,
I wouldn't say that they're angry at her because she's black. I think they're using it as an excuse to get back at her.
Yeah.
Because people do not like the character. I've never seen this level of disgust for a character before that's a bad guy. Usually it's like a bad guy, oh, that's cool, or like, oh, we're supposed to hate this person, that's great, but it's on a different level. And I think that part of it has to be because people are not exactly excited about how the show's going, because we all had different things in our head about what Obi-Wan's gonna be,
right?
And it's not her fault. Like, this is a problem though, because she's a great actress. It's not her fault, but like, you got idiots on the internet. They're doing their thing. They're complaining about whatever. So they just
free speech.
Yeah, they're looking at a target. I'm gonna point at this target and I'm gonna complain, and that's what they're doing. But you should be mad at the writers and Deborah Chow, the director, and Lucasfilm and Disney. That's like Disney people you should be mad at. She's innocent in all this. She's doing what they asked her to do. It's a dumb argument to make. She's not the reason why you don't like this show. Disney is the problem.
Right, because let's not forget, persons of color, they were in some of the movies, obviously, Billy D. Williams.
They were in all those movies. There's not one movie in Star Wars that was black people in.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, sometimes we'll look at films and, be somewhat annoyed with just some of the characters.
I'll give you a perfect example.
What?
Sharon Stone in Casino. I hated that lady.
But she was
good.
Have you
seen Casino? She was
good, dude. She was good.
I hated her so. It was to the point where I didn't even watch another movie with her in it
Mhm.
I was like, I can't believe what you did. Like, it's outrageous. But I'm like, like at least I could separate the art from the person and be like, oh, okay, it's
Right.
just a movie. It's fine. It's just a movie. Relax. A
Mhm.
lot of these people with the fandom, they get overly excited about their thing and they kind of claim it as their own. And like,
It's like
we're playing. This is a product, man. You're paying
it's,
for a product. Like, it's not
just a
yours.
TV show. It's just a TV
Yeah.
show, right? And
You're no control over this thing.
right, and sometimes I get like real passionate about things I'm watching. Like I was telling you how I was like binge watching Ghost in the Shell Sack 2045, which is banana cakes, and
yeah, I watched the movie. The movie's pretty good.
The movie is just like all of the first,
right?
it's a recap of the first season, but it's crazy. The second season is sicko, right? But it's just like, I don't like those like little droid bots, those like little
Taka, whatever it's called.
Yeah, because they have the weird, anime voice, like exactly. What am I supposed to do now? It's just like, oh my goodness, here we go with the voice now. Can we not have
rocket
the voice?
Launcher in you, like talk like you have a rocket launcher,
right? Give me some like bass in that voice and whatnot, But even when you talk about like the first few episodes of Foundation with your girl who was like super annoying, crazy smart as a whip. I mean, but it's just like, how can you, as like creators, right? How can you say, you know what? I am going to give you an annoying person for 4 episoes. The little boy, the little Russian boy screaming like a little girl. Into the night. Please stop. The little Asian kids who are always like, oh, what am I supposed to do now? And all of the anime shows, right? All of them. I guess that's just like standard,
Yeah, that's standard.
Yeah.
That's part of the
but
thing. Yeah.
And like I always say, how we feel about kids in like serious TV shows and movies. But I will say this. Yo, Leia is Leia's, she's boss, man. I'm starting to really get into her. I know she first of all, as a kid, as a 10-year-old, she recognized that we are in this situation because I ran away. I mean, I've done it before, but I had no idea it would be this way.
Finally, a TV show is like, hey, as a kid that does something crazy, it's like,
right.
I take responsibility. This is kind of my fault.
As a 10-year-old,
I applaud the writers for that. A good job on that part. That's why I said there's things I liked, things I hated.
And so now she realizes that, what? I have to be part of the solution as well. So I have to link up with, Kenobi, Tala, and all these other people trying to get off this planet. It's good. I think it would not surprise me if this entire season was all about like trying to get off the planet.
Yeah. And that kind of pisses me off because I wanted to see Luke. I like Luke. Luke is one of my favorite characters of all time. And he's sitting on top of some sand right now, just twiddling his thumbs.
Chilling,
like, dude, he's going to save the universe, not Leia. This guy, you should give him some love. Like, at least do more than a cameo. If all we get of Luke is that he's going to sit on top of the house and pretend like he's driving a racer, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm really gonna be thoroughly pissed. This focus should have been on Luke and Obi-Wan. That's what the show should have been about. I don't care about none of this other stuff.
Yeah, let me ask you this here. So the other thing I saw, I recognized was when Vader and Kenobi were fighting, both of them seemed to like have lost a step. Right? Because if you're
18 steps,
if you're Vader and you like for 10, 12, 15, 20 years, 100 years, the only thing that's been in your mind is getting revenge. You see the person you want to get revenge on. I'm not talking. This is like, that's the person I've been wanting to get revenge on for the last 10 years.
Yes.
There's no need to talk. I'm slicing. I'm Swiss cheesing.
Right?
No need to talk.
I'm hopping right off the plane, just like, boom,
right,
let's
exactly.
go. Right off the plane, no talking.
Right, and then something else that was kind of interesting is, when Tala went into the automated robotics, like, I guess, service center, and then she called, like, Kenobi and Leia over to come in, he walked across the road with no hood on.
God damn it, man.
What is it? Okay, what is it with these shows and like people not wanting to put on their helmets, Halo, and also like their hoods, Kenobi.
I don't understand it.
And really also don't. Like Boba Fett, like why are you taking your helmet off? Keep your helmet on, you know?
You're hiding right now. Okay, like fine, you want to let the actor see your face, whatever, but he's hiding. He should have his hood on all the time. He's hiding. What is he doing? Everybody's looking for him. Even when the robot, or whatever, the robot came down and started scanning his face, he is like trying to hide his face. Like, dude, that's what you should have been doing the entire time.
Exactly. Swiss cheese, you know. And I don't understand the technology either, because you would think that with all the super duper technology they have, they could have done like some facial reconstruction where, you know, Kenobi doesn't look like Kenobi, right? Something like that.
I mean, they could have done all stuff. But here's the thing.
How about just cut your beard off?
Kenobi should have just went to the stormtroopers and be like, "Hey, you're not looking for me. Everything's good. Walk away."
Exactly.
The end.
Like
the end of that. That's what you should have been doing.
You do not want smoked salmon, do you? I don't have any more.
Like that guy was pretending about his money. You should have gone like, "Hey, you're gonna pay him more money. Done. More money."
Like you're gonna. I mean, if I had that like power, I'd be like, I'd go to the bank like, I only want 100, but you're gonna give me 100,000, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right.
Yes, you are getting $100,000. You know, I mean, come on. I don't know about this show, man. I know it doesn't work on aliens, but like it definitely works on stormtroopers, and he wasted all that opportunity to be like, "Hey, I'm not the one you're looking for. Keep moving. Tell that guy I'm good." I don't know about this show, Keo. I mean, like, I'm just happy that it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, if this was 20 episodes, I'd be
forget
mad.
about
I'd
it.
be really
forget
mad.
about it. You know,
they do my boy Obi-Wan dirty. They're doing everybody dirty. I'm not happy with this. I don't know where it's going. I don't know how you can fix it in 3 more episodes. I need to see some adventure, and I need to see some swords fighting. That otherwise, laser swords fighting. Right? Yeah, gotta clarify.
Not pistols.
But like, we cut this out. All right, get some duels going. Let's go. Do some Jedi things. Because it's embarrassing, man.
It is. It kind of is embarrassing. I need to see, like I said earlier, I need to see someone at Disney, someone at Star Wars, someone with Lucasfilms. Someone needs to create a show where it's all about the new and improved super Jedi. They're going to take everything back. We need a show like that, because you can't be Star Wars and not have Vader and not have Jedi.
Well, here's the problem.
Not have stormtroopers.
They wrecked the possibility of that with the new movies, because they made Luke into a clown. He threw his lightsaber away, and he just like, I don't want to train anybody. Like I don't know what they were doing. They ruined that potential future where they could set up for all these movies, retrain the Jedi, bring them a new thing. Like they ruined all of that. So like, there's no place for them to go. They paint themselves in the corner. So I think they're just gonna go further back in the past and pretend like none of this happened.
Are they? So maybe they're creating these movies. I mean, this is like 2022. So there are a lot of things you have to reconsider, because, you know, we're talking about something that was like created in the 80s, whatever. Now we're 2022. Times have changed, you know, social media. We have social media now. We have like the internet, all this stuff, you know. You now have people who can talk smack on someone because they're a person of color and like Star Wars or something like that. So it's just like, I mean, so you have all this stuff that we weren't able to do back in the day that we are able to do now. And they're like, okay, we have like cancel culture, woke culture. We need to create a different style, a different type of show in today's, you know, society.
No, I agree, but I think the problem is that these guys, they suck at creating new things.
Yeah.
So they've decided
they suck at creating old things and making them better.
Well, but they've taken the path of, I'm going to take this thing that you love and I'm going to tear it down and make it terrible, and I'm going to introduce you to a new character that's going to be new and improved so that you will like the new thing better. And I'm not going to like it. Like Rey in the new Skywalker movie, terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And then they had destroy Luke to make her awesome, whatever. And like, I was like, nah, I'm not buying that. I came here to see Luke. I didn't come here to see this other girl. Like, It's not her fault, but like I came here to see Luke being awesome. So another thing too is that they make these shows and they do not let the lead character do awesome things.
Yeah.
Like, when you used to watch movies and whatever, you like the A-Team, whatever, the A-Team did awesome things.
Yeah.
You're watching Magnum
I'm
PI.
dating
Magnum
myself,
PI
but we're both, you said Magnum PI. I was about to say Bionic Man.
Bionic Man, it didn't matter. The person who was the star of the show did
star-studded stuff. Right, exactly.
Doesn't matter what show it was, whether it's the 80s, 90s, 2000s, whoever starring the show did cool things that made you like the person that was the character. That's it.
Tom Cruise, because he is the star of all of his movies, do awesome things.
He does awesome every movie does something awesome. Every movie.
When Bruce Willis was in his movies before he, he did awesome things.
He did awesome things. You were like, I want to see more of this guy. Like, let's go.
Sometimes when Scarlett Johansson is in movies, she does awesome things.
Awesome things.
Until the writers and directors want to sexualize her,
Well, yeah. Well, that's that too. But like, the point is though, that back in the day, that used to be the standard. Hey, it's a show, the Basil Barrington show. Okay, cool. How can we make Basil Barrington awesome? We're going to make him jump out of the airplane with explosions, and then he's going to hand glide down and then punch some bad guys. Cool. Let's make a movie about that.
Well, I know how you
now
can
we're like, we're going to walk around and talk. Like,
I know how you can make me awesome. You can give me one of those, like, those masks, like with the glasses and the nose, like I said last week, and the mustache, and then I can fly from city to city with that outfit on.
Right.
And I would be a comedian, so I would do comedy shows, so that'd be pretty awesome. But at least I'd be doing some awesome things. Boba Fett, he didn't do awesome things. He was feeble,
feeble and all.
Feeble and all. Moon Knight was kind of weird,
Yeah. I mean, sometimes he did awesome things. Other times, people did awesome things for him. I'm like, no, exactly. He has to do the awesome things. It doesn't matter if it's a girl or a guy. Whoever's doing the thing has to be cool at all times. Or you got to build them up to be cool, but they got to get there. Yeah. And this shows like they can only tear people down. They can't make them do their thing. Like, so a good, perfect example, this show, right? The episode part 3, whatever. Obi-Wan had a perfect opportunity to showcase all the Obi-Wan Jedi skills that he has for the past 30 years or 40, wherever old he is, 50-something years. He has all these years of decades of experience fighting the clone troopers, working with the clone troopers, using tricks or whatever, Jedi skills. He had a perfect example to do all this stuff, pull out a blaster. And then they're like, get in the ground, and he still had the gun in his hand. I'm like, what the hell? Who okayed this? Disarm for it, but
I think he's it seems like he's afraid to use like his weapon of choice because he hasn't been doing anything with it for 10 years.
But like, this is the thing, the Jedi are supposed to be peacekeepers, right?
Yeah.
According to the Yoda and Mace Windu, they're supposed to be peacekeepers. They're not soldiers. So he's supposed to figure out a way to get out of this situation without killing any of the stormtroopers. And they made him feeble and useless, so he had to kill all the stormtroopers. But he should have been able to get through that without doing any of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The mind trick or the force or tie them up or knock them out. He's supposed to get out of that without
put
killing
an extra
anybody.
$100,000 in my bank account.
What's the point, though? Jedi's not supposed to bumble your way into doing things. You're supposed to be a trained, skillful politician, if you will, who's able to handle stuff on the field. He's useless right now. He can't control Leia. He's running around after her. Like, dude, what are you doing? Just tell her be quiet and sit down. That should be the end of that.
Are we still not rating Obi Wan?
Yeah, we're not rating. After this fight, Obi-Wan runs away. Oh hell no!
I don't know what to say.
I would have gave this episode a 0 because of that fight. I couldn't believe that.
I would have given the 3 episodes we watched a 0.
I cannot believe that this guy ran away. Dude, you were his master. You can beat him. You know how to beat him. You've done it already.
And again, like I said, the fight was like both of them were feeble, like to see Vader, for Vader to be so angry for the last 10 years and then to see the person he really wanted to kill, and then he's like poo-pooing around. It's just like, dude, you got to go in there and Swiss him up.
I think they spent all of their budget and their stunt team on whatever the last fight is going to be for the show. And that's where all the budget went into. Because if this is all Obi-Wan is going to be, them walking around with Leia, I want no part of this. I'm sorry. I am out.
I would not be surprised if like this season was all about getting Leia and Obi Wan Kenobi getting off this planet, which would be sad.
Trash. Hot trash. Hot pile of trash.
Well, again,
I'm sorry for the Star Wars fans. I apologize to y'all, man. I get why you're so ornery right now, because what they're giving you is bad here. This is bad. The movie sucked. So far, the shows, the only Mandalorian's been good. Every other show's been terrible. I haven't seen Bad Batch, so I can't count on that. I think Bad Batch is okay, but like everything else has been just terrible or really, really bad. I get nothing to choose from.
Yeah, I think it's just they're just like, hey, let's just fill it up with content.
Yeah,
which is kind of sad.
We need more subscribers, get some content. That's all we're doing right now.
You lose your like creativity when you just like throw things up because you want to and you have to. You know, it's almost like use it or lose it. So it's just like, I don't know about that. Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.